How about this? For a punishment for a young offender, an illiterate teenager caught stealing is ordered to learn to read and write. Another youth who attacked someone because he didn't like the way they looked was made to clean mirrors in washrooms so he could constantly look himself in the face. Well, these sentences, if they can be called that, are being handed out by a judge in Granada in Spain. And as you can imagine, his unusual approach is winning him a lot of attention.
3 young offenders in Spain are brought into the courtroom for sentencing. Judge Emilio Calatayud once again has an unusual idea.
The state prosecutor has charged you with stealing items from the clothing chain Zara. Thanks to your lawyers, your sentence has been reduced from 50 hours community work to 30 hours. You will each work 30 hours packing games for a children's charity. You've shown that you're quick at packing things into bags, so I'm sending you off to do just that.
Sandra was also sentenced by Emilio Calatayud. She has to spend 120 hours helping to care for disabled people in a hospital. Her crime was videoing a disabled student at her school making fun of her and posting it on the internet.
I didn't even pass any school leaving exams. I didn't graduate at all. I just left school and had no plan for my life at all. But being here, I found that I really enjoy this work. Thanks to my court sentence, I've decided to train as a carer.
In retrospect, Sandra is actually grateful for the sentence she received. Working with the disabled showed her how despicable her actions were and even opened up a career opportunity. Emilio Calatayud says his aim is to help young offenders.
You have to consider the offense that's been committed, but you also need to remember who the offender is. It's a human being that I'm convicting. I'm not convicting an offense or a crime.
The 52-year-old judge has handed out some 12,000 sentences to date. His work has helped the regional Andalusian government begin developing a community network for young offenders. There are now standing agreements with hospitals and the Red Cross, for example, where young offenders can be sent to clean out ambulances. Arsonists are sent to the fire brigade. Computer hackers are made to teach their peers computer science. His unusual approach has borne fruit. While crime rates across Spain are up 3%, in the region of Granada they're down by 4%. Calatayud takes a personal interest in his clients, as he calls them. 8 of them are sectioned in this juvenile correction facility convicted of murder or rape. Here they're forced to watch autopsies and visit the graves of their victims with a psychiatrist until they recognize the severity of their crimes. The judge then tries to get them out quickly and integrate them into the labor market. Around 70% do not become repeat offenders, compared with just 30% in Germany.
With very violent crimes, I don't see any alternative than to section them. This is the last resort. I'm no fan of these secure units, but with some crimes, there's unfortunately no alternative to a juvenile correction facility.
Some are allowed to leave the prison each day to work, and we're allowed to talk to them. At the age of 16, Ismail nearly killed someone with a knife. Judge Calatayud sentenced him to 3 years in a secure facility and 1 year on parole.
He really helped me. Thanks to his help, I'm able to work to pay off my debts. 20,000 euros for the victim, and I also have to pay for my lawyer.
Jose was another of the judge's protégés. The son of 2 university professors, by the age of 14 he was a drug addict and a thief. Now he's studying engineering.
Don Emilio got me at the right time and locked me up. But he also talked to me a lot. That was great. Other judges just close the case once they've passed sentence.
The satisfying part for a judge is not passing sentence, but re-socializing a young person.
Today, Emilio Calatayud is to give a speech in La Mancha. After that, he'll travel on to Malaga. He spends 3 days a week traveling all over Spain and speaking to parents. Around 200 people are here today.
I can't advise you on how to be good parents. I can only tell you what to do if you want to turn your child into a petty criminal. Give your child whatever they want right from the beginning. If you do that, they'll grow up believing the world belongs to them alone.
He mentions other common mistakes and urges the parents to exercise more authority over their children to protect them from a life of crime. The effort and investment are worthwhile, as he tells his audience in Malaga the next day.
If a 14-year-old child commits a crime and develops the profile of an offender, then the entire system has failed. You must believe in our children and in the experts who work with them, because children are the most important capital a country has.